Hi, I'm Elder Johnson from Colorado, and we're here in historic Nauvoo in the Blacksmith shop and Wainwright wheelwright shop, and it was run by the Webb brothers back in 1843. There were 5 brothers that operated the Wainwright wheelwright shop right over here, and we're standing right here in the Blacksmith shop that was run by the Shute brothers. And you'll notice that we have these 2 forges, and we have some bellows over here, and some anvils and vices, and they were all donated by the Shute family. In 1869, when the Nauvoo Historic Inc. came in here to reestablish and build up historic Nauvoo, this was just a plowed under field. And underneath plowed ground, they discovered many of these artifacts here, many of these tools, and some of these things, like I said, was donated by the Shute brothers. In 1832, the Webb brothers' parents, James and Hannah, were baptized in New York in 1832, and by faith they were sent to Kirtland, Ohio, and then on to Caldwell, Missouri, and then now we're in Nauvoo where they resided, and it was run by their sons here, this blacksmith shop. And I'd like to describe here what a prairie diamond is. This right here would be a prairie diamond, and it originated as a prairie diamond nail. And as you can see, the head looks like a diamond, and it was made by the Diamond Company. And I have a story relating to the prairie diamond. Back in the day in the 1840s, there were 2 young men who were interested in marrying a certain lady, a Mormon gal, and who had been proposed many times before, and yet she still wasn't married. These 2 wanted to propose to her, but the father said a stipulation was made that in order to marry my daughter, you had to have either or a diamond ring or a large dowry. Of course, back in those days, the young men didn't have a lot of money and nowhere and no place to buy a diamond ring. So one of the young men proposed that he would get on his horse and travel to California and seek out his fortune in the gold mines and search for gold. That was a dumb idea, everyone thought, and we never saw him again. The other boy said, well, let me go to my father who's a blacksmith, and he might have an idea how this can be done. And of course the father, being wise and all, had an idea. He took this, which is a prairie diamond, and he rolled it into a ring and offered that as the diamond ring. So the young boy took it to the girl, she in turn took it to the father, and the father inspected it and said, well, I wasn't specific on what kind of prairie diamond ring we were going to have, and so he accepted it, and the young man, because he was faithful in the gospel, married the young lady in the temple, kept the covenants, and lived happily ever after. Now we have over here a forge, and we have here a rod, and we can demonstrate to you how a horseshoe is made. And we'll put on my safety gloves, and we have a tool of trade, which would be a hammer. And over here we have a rod, and we're heating it up to a certain temperature, and that temperature is something that's red hot. And we take it like this, and we forge it into shape of a horseshoe. And then we pound it out like this. Then we place it over here to cut. And we'll place it on the vise to break it off. And we want to expose enough to create some cleats to give them traction. And then we will smooth out the rough edges with this file. Then we'll take the hammer and we'll punch out cleats. Bring it down. Loosen it up. And we'll take ourselves a pair of pliers and we'll cool it off, because I don't want to touch it when it's too hot, right? Then we'll take it and we'll mold it just a little bit. Looking kind of good. Then we'll take it, put it in this vise here, and we'll punch out some simulation holes where they would apply the nails. And usually we put about 3 or 4 in here. We don't have a lot of time, so we'll just punch out 2. And then what we're going to do is place it over here and give it a little bit of oil, and that in turn turns it black, and that's why we get our name, Blacksmiths. Thanks for listening, and everyone's invited to come and get a first-hand experience here in historic Nauvoo.